Assalamualaikum guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you all about underpainting or reverse contouring and how to do this. A few different ways to do it, so I'm going to show you how I achieve this look. आज का tutorial underpainting के बारे में है या reverse contouring जिसको बोलते हो, तो आप tutorial देखते रहें तो आपको बताती हूँ कि कैसे ये करते हैं. So underpainting and reverse contouring is something that's been done for a very long time, and one of the good things about underpainting, it looks a little bit harsh when you first start doing it, but the reason it's actually really nice is actually you do end up using a lot less product. So instead of layering on your foundation and your contour and your concealer and things like that, you're actually doing everything the reverse way. So you actually go in with your concealer first and your contour, and then you go in with foundation, but you don't go in with a lot of foundation. You actually only go in with a small amount of foundation. Obviously you can adapt it, you can go heavier if you want to, but I'm going to show you how I did it for this particular look, and this was actually for like a bridal look, so it turned out really well. She looked absolutely stunning and so flawless in reality, like off camera. I've actually gone quite heavy with the concealer and the contouring, purely because of the bridal makeup, but you can actually adapt that to yourself and you don't need to go as heavy. So anyway, I've started off with the eyebrows as usual, and I went in with my brow wax, and then I'm just filling in the hair strokes with my NYX pen liner as well, and just making sure I've gone around the eyebrows now, and I'm going to just define the eyebrows a little bit, but I'm only going around with a little bit of products this time, and then I'm going to really blend that out, because obviously normally I go in quite heavily with my base on the eyebrows, but this time I'm not going to be doing that too much. So underpainting या reverse contouring जो होती है, एक नया तरीका नहीं है, बहुत पुराना तरीका है, लेकिन आजकल काफ़ी फेमस हुआ हुआ है. इसका मकसद ये होता है कि जो हम लेयरिंग करते हैं कि फाउंडेशन एंड देन उसके ऊपर कंसीलर एंड कॉन्टूरिंग जो वगैरह करते हैं काफ़ी हैवी बेस हो जाता है, उसको अवॉइड करने के लिए ये है कि आप पहले से ही कॉन्टूरिंग अपनी कर लेते हैं और अपने कंसीलर लगा लेते हैं, एंड देन एक स्मॉल अमाउंट फाउंडेशन के लेके तो उसको ब्लेंड कर देते हैं. इससे ये है कि केकीनेस भी कम होता है एंड अच्छा लगता है बेस. एंड एक्चुअली काफ़ी अच्छा तरीका है ये मेकअप करने का, और ये जो बेस था बहुत ही ज़्यादा अच्छा लग रहा था रियलिटी में भी, ऑफ कैमरा, एंड बहुत ज़्यादा नाइस लग रहा था. लेकिन ऑब्वियसली मैंने एक्चुअली कॉन्टूरिंग एंड जो हाईलाइटिंग की थी काफ़ी हैवीली की थी इस लुक के लिए, लेकिन आप उसको कम भी कर सकते हैं. सो आगे से और भी ट्यूटोरियल्स ले आऊँगी आपके लिए. यहाँ पे मैंने आईब्रोज पे शुरू किया, आईब्रोज पे वैक्स लगाई है, इनको शेप कर दिया, थोड़ा सा कंसीलर लगा के यहाँ पे मैंने अपनी ब्लेंडिंग कर दी, कार्व आउट कर दिया, लेकिन बहुत हैवीली नहीं. So now that my eyebrows have been done, I'm just making sure that the base, there's not too much extra product there, just using a fluffy brush just to make sure I'm blending everything away. So I'm starting off with the outer corners, taking like a dark brown shade, and what I'm doing is just tapping in the outer corners just to make sure I've got my colour payoff, and then I'm just going to blend this out. So I was just going for neutral tones, not too much on the eyes at all, colour-wise. So यहाँ पे मैंने आउटर कॉर्नर्स पे एक डार्क ब्राउन शेड लिया, अपना पील हुए पैलेट इस्तेमाल कर रही हूँ, एंड यहाँ पे आउटर कॉर्नर्स पे टैपिंग मोशन से मैं आउटर वी जो है वहाँ पे अपना कलर बस लगा रही हूँ, एंड देन इसको थोड़ा सा ब्लेंड कर दूँगी. सो आज का काफ़ी न्यूट्रल मेकअप लुक है. So now I'm just using a small fluffy brush, and I just wanted to keep this product, as you can see, to the outer corners, but what I'm doing is once there's less product on the brush, I'm actually just rounding it off right down towards the corner of the eyes, the inner corners. So you can see what I'm doing is I'm just bringing that shape in very slightly, but it's all going to get blended out afterwards. But what I'm doing is, like I said, is stamped on the colour first, blended out the outer corners, and when there wasn't much on the product on the brush left, I've then kind of like created that shape just going into the socket area. So यहाँ पे आउटर कॉर्नर्स पे मैंने अपना कलर लगा लिया है, एंड देन उसको ब्लेंड करके, एंड देन जब प्रोडक्ट बहुत कम रह गया है ब्रश के ऊपर, तो उसको इनर कॉर्नर्स की तरफ ले गई हूँ, थोड़ी सी शेप लेके आई हूँ आइज़ की. सो क्योंकि मैं लिड्स पे रह रही हूँ इस दफ़ा. On the center of the eyes, I'm just going in with a lighter tone color now, and this is a matte, like a creamy toned color from the same palette, and what I'm doing is just patting this on to the whole lid now. So यहाँ पे मैंने एक न्यूट्रल सा मैट सा कलर लिया है, एंड इसको टैपिंग मोशन से लगा के एंड इनर कॉर्नर्स पे लगा रही हूँ, पूरी लिड पे लगा रही हूँ, एंड इसको फिर मैं ब्लेंड कर दूँगी. So you can see I've taken this slightly higher than the lid, and it just opens up the lid space a little bit more. Obviously you can keep it to the lid as well if you want to. So then I'm just going to highlight the brow bone a little bit because this was more about a bit of the highlighting and contouring and having a flawless base and a neutral eye this time. थोड़ी सी यहाँ पे अपना हाइलाइटर लगा रही हूँ ब्रो बोन पे एंड देन स्टैम्पिंग मोशन से आईलाइनर लगा रही हूँ. सो ये आई शेडो है, ब्लैक आई शेडो है एंड इसको एक आईलाइनर ब्रश के साथ आईलाइनर की शेप से ही लगाई जा रही हूँ. So then I went in with my black eyeshadow, same palette, P. Louise palette I'm using. It's a matte colour and I'm using just like a flat brush just to add this on. This is going to give me depth and it's also going to give me like the eyeliner effect without adding the eyeliner on. So I'm just going to add this on and then I smoke it out a little bit. So you can see I tapped on my black and then what I'm using is a darker brown now and a fluffier brush and I'm just blending out the outer socket areas and taking it right into the socket area now. So मैंने आईलाइनर को ब्लेंड कर दिया था ब्लैक के साथ थोड़ा सा एंड देन एक फ्लफी ब्रश लिया ना अपना जो पहला जो डार्क ब्राउन कलर था एंड इसको उसी जगह पे थोड़ा सा ब्लेंड करके जो आउटर सॉकेट एरियाज है वहाँ पे थोड़ी सी डेफिनेशन लेके आ रही हूँ वापस. That's pretty much your eye makeup done and then I went in with eyelashes. Now the eyelashes didn't actually stick on from the inner corner so I had to just leave them. That's what I always do. Sometimes in my tutorials I don't always explain that and you might think, oh my god, the eyelashes are off. But I do leave them and then I come back to them right at the end. Otherwise you're just there all day trying to fix them. So I just give them a bit of time. So I've gone in with my Danessa Myricks oil. This is a really, really nice, beautiful oil. I love this. I'm not normally a fan of oils, but this is like a dry oil and it doesn't actually affect the makeup application afterwards. So I loved using this. So यहाँ पे मैंने एक beauty oil use किया है. इस दफ़ा Danessa Myricks का है. एक ऑयल मैं नॉर्मली कभी भी नहीं यूज़ करती क्योंकि मुझे लगता है फाउंडेशन सही नहीं बैठती, लेकिन ये प्रोडक्ट बहुत नाइस है. इन्हीं का Danessa Myricks का ही ग्लो सीरम है वो भी यूज़ किया है. So I'm going in with my skincare, so I'm loving the Danessa Myricks glow serum as well. So I'm just applying that on top of the oil. Again, make sure you leave some time between each of these steps so that everything absorbs into your skin. So it's all about the skin here, so that's why skin prep is really, really important. Obviously, you can go in with your other skincare if you want, like normally sometimes I'm using hyaluronic serum, vitamin C, things like that. So I'm colour correcting underneath the eyes and again I'm just going to colour correct slightly. So the whole point is you don't want too many products being laid on here. So I'm buffing this out quite well. So I'm not leaving it all kind of like just sat on the skin this time. So I'm just going in, buffing in the product which is my Makeup Forever palette. So this is where the reverse contouring starts. I'm going in with my concealer first. Again, I'm telling you now that I'm going in quite heavily and quite with a large amount of concealer here. So I'm going to place this exactly where I want this, where I would normally do this once I've got my foundation on, but this time I'm doing it all before the foundation is on. So color correcting मैंने कर चुकी हूँ और very lightly मैंने buff in करके उस product को लगा दिया. यहाँ पे मैं अपना concealer use कर रही हूँ. ये Too Faced का ही concealer है. जहाँ पे मैं नॉर्मली लगाती हूँ वहीं पे लगा रही हूँ. काफ़ी हैवीली लगा रही हूँ क्योंकि इस दफ़ा कंसीलर एंड कॉन्टूर ज़्यादा होगा लेकिन फाउंडेशन बहुत कम होगी. सो ये हमारी कवरेज के लिए. सो आपको ज़रूरी नहीं है कि आप इतना ही प्रोडक्ट लगाएं या इतना ज़्यादा लगाएं, आप कम भी कर सकते हैं. So you don't have to go in with this amount of product, so I just want to make that clear, obviously, but I am going in, basically, this is my coverage and my foundation is only going to be a very small amount that I'm going to use to buff everything in. So I've placed this on. Now you can get on your contour at the same time and then start blending everything out, but I went in and just started blending out my concealer first. So I'm using like a flat brush and I'm just tapping, just like I would if my concealer was on top of my foundation, and I'm going to tap this away until I'm happy with the blend. So यहाँ पे मैं अपनी सारी ब्लेंडिंग कर रही हूँ ना. आप पहले कंसीलर लगा के साथ अपनी कॉन्टोरिंग भी साथ ही लगा सकते हैं, देन सारा कुछ ब्लेंड कर दें. यहाँ पे मैंने कहा थोड़ी सी आसानी हो जाएगी अगर पहले सिर्फ कंसीलर दिखा दूँ आप लोगों को एंड देन कॉन्टोरिंग ऐड कर दूँगी. So this way it's just easier for you guys to see. I mean, obviously next time I do a tutorial I can do them both for you as well, but I just thought it'd be easier to show you that I'm blending the concealer out first and then I'm going to add in my contour as well. Products of choice, obviously, again, it's up to you. You can go for something full coverage, you can go for something light coverage. I mean, this is something you could do on a daily basis, makeup as well, but obviously according to that, you wouldn't be wearing this much concealer. You know, it doesn't have to be full coverage. It's completely up to you. So for my contour, I'm using the Fenty Beauty contour stick and I'm just placing this on in all the areas that I want the contour. सो एक कॉन्स्टोर स्टिक यूज़ करी हूँ फेंटी ब्यूटी की है एंड देन इसको जिधर जिधर मुझे चाहिए क्योंकि ये फुल कवरेज मेकअप है, सो इसलिए मैं काफ़ी हैविली इसको कॉन्टोर करी हूँ. जो लाइन, एवरीथिंग, फोरहेड पे, नोज पे, सारा. So I'm going to place this on and it's going to seem like it's a lot, but I am contouring where I would normally contour. And we're going for, like, obviously a flawless base today as well. It is still going to photograph beautifully and video beautifully, but in reality it didn't look cakey or anything like that at all. So down the nose, and then I'm going to blend this out afterwards as well. So I did go in with a slightly darker colour, so I just thought that the colour I wanted to just have it a little bit darker, so I did add a little bit of the Huda Beauty Tantour as well. And then what I'm doing is now I'm going to blend this out. So this will look a little bit harsh at the moment, but it all comes together. So I'm going to blend this out, but I'm not blending out completely into the concealer. So that's quite important. So you're going to blend away with your foundation later on. So at the moment it might look, oh my god, you know, she's left harsh lines. But the whole point is we're going to leave that product there and then we're going to blend it out with the foundation. So आपने यहाँ पे अपने ब्लेंडिंग कर देनी है ना. यहाँ पे आप देखेंगे मैं कम्प्लीटली ब्लेंड नहीं करी ना. नॉर्मली अगर इस स्टेज में मैं जब कर रही होती हूँ तो यहाँ पे काफ़ी ज़्यादा ब्लेंड कर देती हूँ प्रॉपरली. लेकिन अभी लगेगा कि जैसे मैंने सही नहीं किया, लेकिन इसकी ब्लेंडिंग फाउंडेशन से होगी. कंसीलर के साथ मैं इसको ब्लेंड नहीं कर रही. तो यहाँ पे मैं इसको बस जहाँ पे मुझे प्रोडक्ट चाहिए वहाँ पे रख रही हूँ एंड इसको काफ़ी जैसे इसको ब्लेंड की जा रही हूँ एंड देन फाउंडेशन से इसको ठीक करूँगी. So at this point, obviously, all I'm doing, you can see, is I'm keeping the product where I want it, blending it out. Obviously, I don't want harsh edges and things like that, but still not completely blending out 100%. Then you're going to go in with your foundation to blend this out. Now, foundation of choice is up to you. You can go for full coverage if you want to, but the whole point is you're actually going to go out with a slightly sheerer foundation, and you're going to use this as your base, and you're going to use something quite luminous on top, and that looks really, really pretty. So यहाँ पे आपने जब फाउंडेशन से ब्लेंडिंग करनी है, हैवी कवरेज वाली फाउंडेशन प्रॉब्ली इज़ नॉट द बेस्ट थिंग. मैं बोलूँगी कि लाइट कवरेज, और आपने कम फाउंडेशन यूज़ करनी है, ज़्यादा फाउंडेशन नहीं यूज़ करनी. सो मैंने यहाँ पे डनेसा मैरिक्स की ग्लो सेरम फाउंडेशन यूज़ की, बिल्कुल हल्का सा प्रोडक्ट लिया है. अब मैं आपको दिखाती हूँ कैसे ब्लेंड किया. So I'm just blending away again down the nose. I'm just using a small brush just to make sure I've got my blending done. So my foundation of choice this time was the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Foundation. So I absolutely love this foundation. A very little amount goes a long way, and it's really, really hydrating and such a glowy, lightweight foundation. But yeah, the coverage is actually really nice. So I'm just using a small amount, and look at the brush I'm using. You can use this brush, you can use another type of brush as well. And in between the bits of my contour, so where basically my concealer was, is where I'm tapping on a little bit of foundation, and I'm going to start buffing away over the actual contour as well. But you're not going to rub this really, really harshly. I'm tapping away a little bit. I'm just making sure that everything blends away nicely. So you want the product underneath to kind of like stay where it is. You don't want to drag it too much, but you're going to tap away and really kind of like get rid of the harsh edges and things like that. And eventually you'll see that the base looks absolutely stunning. सो मैंने एक छोटा सा अमाउंट लिया है फाउंडेशन का. आप देखें कि टैपिंग मोशन से आप इसको लगाएंगे जहाँ पे इन बिटवीन जो डार्क फाउंडेशन काउंटर उससे नीचे मैं लगा रही हूँ जहाँ पे मेरा कंसीलर था. एंड देन इन बिटवीन जो है मैं इसको लगाई जा रही हूँ. जो बॉटम जो आपने नीचे प्रोडक्ट रखा हुआ है उसको आपने इतना ज़्यादा हिलाना नहीं है. लाइक मतलब आपने इस ब्रश को ड्रैग करके बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं लगाना. मैं छोटे छोटे ट्रैपिंग मोशंस कर रही हूँ और इसको आहिस्ता आहिस्ता ब्लेंड की जा रही हूँ. एंड बाद में आप देखेंगे कि कितना ज़्यादा अच्छा बेस फ्लोरस लग रहा है. माशाल्लाह बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छा लग रहा था बेस से. एंड मुझे ये टेक्निक एक्चुअली बहुत ज़्यादा पसंद आई है. So I continue, and you're going to take your time and you're going to blend this away really, really nicely. I'm using a very small amount of foundation. There's not a lot of foundation, and it's not going over everything. I'm literally just kind of like tapping away and buffing it out. But you do need to take your time, obviously, if, and you're going to make sure that once you've blended everything out, you can use your beauty blender as well. I mean, I love using this technique. I do use it quite often, but not always. Obviously, in my tutorials, I haven't actually been doing this a lot. But I loved the way the foundation came out and just the way it looked naturally as well. It was really, really nice. So then I'm also going to go in with my cream blusher now. Again, this is from P. Louise. I can't remember the colour, but it's like a baby pink. तो देन मैं अपना जो नॉर्मल जो मैं लगाती हूँ जैसे लिक्विड ब्लश वो भी लगा रही हूँ. इसको भी यहाँ पे अच्छा तरीके से ब्लेंड कर दूँगी. So you're just making sure you blend everything out at this point. Everything is wet at the moment and everything can be really, really nicely blended out. Now I'm just going back to the under eyes and making sure there's no creasing, and then I'm just going to go and powder this. तो अंडर आइज़ को ऑब्वियसली एक दफ़ा फिर मैं उसको ब्लेंड किए जा रही हूँ, एंड देन यहाँ पे पाउडरिंग करूँगी. पाउडर के लिए मैंने अपना स्टूडियो मैक फिक्स का स्टूडियो फिक्स इस्तेमाल किया, एंड इसको ब्रश से लगाई जा रही हूँ. So now I'm just going to tap on my MAC Studio Fix, and I'm using this underneath the eyes, and then I'm going to just tap this on and really set everything into place underneath the eyes. But you don't want too much powder, so I powdered where I needed to more. Everywhere else I just use a buffing brush, and I just use a small amount of powder to actually add a bit of coverage. So under the eyes मैंने ज़्यादा यूज़ किया था, लेकिन everywhere else मैंने थोड़ा सा अमाउंट यूज़ किया पाउडर का. एंड देन कॉन्टोरिंग जो है उसको थोड़ा सा और डिफाइन करने के लिए मैंने अभी एक पाउडर कॉन्टोर लिया. ये मैक का स्टूडियो फिक्स है, इसे कॉन्टोर करूँगी. So then just to define the contour a little bit more, I'm using my MAC Studio Fix, and I'm using this just to go over the edges, just to bring that warmth back in, and just to go over the contour again and give it that slight more snatched look. So now I'm just spraying with a hydrating spray, so obviously I just want this look to be a little bit more glowy. So थोड़ा सा hydrating spray मैंने यूज़ किया, and then यहाँ पे हम थोड़ा सा highlighter लगा देंगे. So this is my Doll Beauty highlighter. So I'm just using a little bit, and then I'm going to add a little bit of blusher as well and make sure everything is blended out again. But you can see it's all coming together. Now obviously you can get these kind of effects doing it the other way around as well, but there was a lot less product here, and it looked really nice. Going in with some powder blush and just lightly buffing this on as well now. So थोड़ा सा मैंने हाइलाइटर लगाया, दैन यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा अपना ब्लशर लगाऊंगी. इसको भी थोड़ा सा ब्लेंड कर दूंगी. अंडर दी आईज काफ़ी सिंपल मैंने रखा था, सिर्फ आउटर कॉर्नर्स पे थोड़ा सा डार्क कलर लेके आई थी, एंड देन थोड़ा सा लाइट कलर all the way through. So under the eyes I just defined the eyes on the outer corners, and then just brought like a light brown, and then I went in. This is actually a colour from Danessa Myricks again, and it could be used on the lips, cheeks and things like that. So I just used this on the lips, and then we just added a lip gloss on top as well. So I just wanted like a nude colour, but the whole thing just came together really nicely. I then let the hair down, obviously got her dressed up, did her jewellery, and I did a veil and things like that, and you can see how stunning she looks. तो यहाँ पे हमने jewelry ऐड की, थोड़ा सा इंग्लिश टाइप का ये लुक था, तो हमने एक वेल लगाई. तो आई होप आपको ये ट्यूटोरियल पसंद आया, आई होप आपको समझ आ गया कि रिवर्स कॉन्टोरिंग क्या है. प्लीज़ लाइक एंड कमेंट कर देना. So I hope you liked the way this look turned out. I absolutely loved it, and so please do drop me a comment and let me know if you want some more tips, or if you want any more tutorials. Let me know what you want in the comments, and hopefully I will see you soon. Take care, bye bye.